like yourself, people that have cars, people from the industry, from the motor industry. We're going to involve even the federal government itself, and also even these cars that are brought from outside the country, because they would love to invest in Nigeria. They will see us as serious and give us grants of up to $250 billion. Now we are going to be competing with Saudi Arabia, that is using that money, that money for weapons of mass destruction, for using it for weapons of serious business, and that's 300,000 jobs on its own. And how many are we in Ahmad Buhari constituency? As now, if you look back, how many of the votes, people have registered in the whole of FCT? We have serious work to do. All right, thank you very much.
Please, let's put our hands together for Architect Osaho. Thank you so much. You know, there's magic when young people join the process. Thank you for those innovation. We also have joining us in this political debate. We have Chairman FCT, Justice Must Prevail Party, Honorable Charles Okwego. Please wave your hand. Okay. We have Honorable Abo Edache John, Councillor Orozo Ward. Please let's put our hands together for him. We also have for Guarimpa Ward, Councillor Onajem People Steel, Honorable Amodu Simon. All right, thank you for joining us. All right, we have joining us our very own mommy, Madam Agbola Ruth, proprietress, the Gracial Model School. Thank you, ma. You'll be having a word with us shortly. Okay? Now, some questions are pouring in for our people. So I'll be asking them. This is for Honorable David Adetui. One of us here is asking, how do you want to cope if your party is not in the central, knowing fully well that the human beings we have clash, knowing fully well that the human beings we have clash of interest, and we want to kill brilliant ideas that are coming from the opposition party. So how do you intend to cope if your party don't win at the national?
Okay, all right. I would really wish that my party wins at the national, but even if we don't, because I'm seeking to represent the good people of Amak and Buhari, all the proposals that I've said I'm going to do, some of them don't even need support of everybody. There are some projects that can be done, even not even from constituency project appropriation, but even from income. Some of the projects can be done.
Even straight to the point, sir. Okay. Because there are more questions.
All right. Okay. So okay. If we don't win the national, right? Because I already work out all the ideas that I propose. I already work out framework of how to get them to fruition. So it will not necessarily be that I will not perform. And also, some of the things that I propose that I'm going to do don't even need any particular central government at the center. It just needs the support and cooperation of all to be elected into the National Assembly. And one thing that I like so far that I've seen, you will see a lot of young emerging people across the nation coming to National Assembly, and that would happen in 2019. We will not have it business as usual to have APC and PDP. Already we are talking to ourselves across party. So that conversation, there are some group that we call emerging leaders. That conversation is going to continue into National Assembly. That if I need support of another party to pass a bill, is that you lobby, you offer trade and barter, because other guys are going to be sponsoring other bills too. So I said, look, I'm going to push for you, I'm going to be supporting you, better support me here. And also if you back your bills, mostly with analytical data of the impact on the local economy, of the impact on education, and all the things that affect the economies, you may not necessarily have to be bound down to one central government or not. It's some of those initiatives that you can do. I think somebody talked about getting funds from abroad. There are some grants already that I've been applying to, which they didn't give me because I'm not in government. So you need government platform because they trust government sometimes to be able to give you those kind of funds. So if I'm in government, I don't know whether there is appropriation or not on education. I will still get support from Israel. I'll get support from EU to do early childhood education programs. So these are the things, but they won't give to an individual because it's not going to make money out of it. So don't worry about national government. Let's worry about our local life in Abuja. This is where we are making our money. This is where we are paying, we are surviving from. So let's worry about the quality and the competence of who we send there because of those policies that will immediately affect us. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much for that response. So those ideas will not die even if your government don't win the central. All right, thank you. This is for Senator Osho Olarewaju. Since education has been politicized, how do you intend to invest in education? How do you also motivate teachers because they are already frustrated? How do you tackle academic fraud and indiscipline in our school? Also, poor funding of education in the FCT. Older teachers are also retiring, no replacement. How treat the unavailability of qualified teachers? Will you politicize it? Wow, so many questions.
So many questions.
So maybe let me help you, sir.
Okay,
the first one is, how do you intend to invest in education?
You see, the problem with Nigeria is that we are very...
Just hit it, sir.
Yes. See, we are operating a federal system, copied from America, but we refuse to do what America is doing. And that we can correct that through a deal. What is America doing? For example, the money for schools in Maitama, for example, are generated from Maitama. If it were to be in US, the money for schools in Gariki are generated for schools in Gariki. So through the property tax, fines, rates, tenement rates, levies. Yes, so if you live in Maitama, your son or your daughter schools in Maitama, because everything you pay there, the money goes to that school. You know, a portion. That's the same for Gariki, the same for Ubiye, the same. So your school is as beautiful as the area where you are living in. And what we need to do is just to go back and what it's not rocket science. You understand me now? So this one that local government is sharing money to LA school, and government has eaten most of the money because sending to local government. So how can local government, run a very good school? And look at our federal schools. Do you know many of the schools that are in Abuja now, government schools in Abuja, contractors from structures were given to politicians, and they didn't do the work, and they abandoned it. So it's not a question you can answer in just one meeting. But it's a policy approach that we have to sit down holistically. People like Fine Two Mommies have to come on board because they have ideas that we can tap into. The professors, the educators who are practical, hands-on educators, you understand me now, policy makers. So we build a holistic policy to correct all these things. And I tell you, my brother, there are so many. There are so many. And on the issue of teachers,
yes, how do
because
you
our quality has fallen. My wife asked a schoolman, and she used to come and meet you people to mentor her. She's looking for good mommies to mentor. You find a teacher who cannot speak good English in FCT. Third person singular, they do not know. Third person singular. And I was talking to NUT people, in my campaign, I said, we will organize a special English class for teachers who do not know how to speak good English. Because if you don't know how to speak good English, that's even the basic of teaching. Then we will do continuous education for them online. We are going to build ICT centers all across FCT. At least we will start first of all local government. And as resources, improve from word to word. When you can enter, a center like this, you don't need to come with anything other than your notes and your pen. And then we connect you directly online. You take. See, when you stop learning, you start to die. Yes. So our teachers must continue to learn. And that's good.
All right. Thank you. Please, are we clapping for that response? Thank you, sir. Now, this question is also for you, sir.
Yes, sir.
You said that you will use the business centers, the churches, and the business around to achieve this development in FCT.
Yes.
What happens to the budgetary allocation for those projects?
Okay. Thank you very much. Before I answer that question, please let me recognize the presence of my Gwagwalada local government chairman, Waziri Haman from Abunda, Nigeria Regional Party. Thank you very much. There's not enough money, you understand me now, that government can budget. Look at, let me give you an example. The budget of South Africa, a nation of 70 million. South Africa is just 70 million. Their budget is almost $150 billion for 70 million people. Nigeria is a country of 200 million people. Our budget last year was $25 billion. This year it reduces. So how will government ever get money with this kind of battery budget? That's why, as I'm talking to you now, my party is protesting in the front of National Assembly. This is the fourth time we are protesting that the budget that the federal government, bring to National Assembly is too insignificant to develop any part of our lives. And you know what? The projects are so much that there are individuals that add so much money and they are not using it. So we are going to, we are going to tickle the conscience of Nigerians to know that you can do things to make your community better. Why do you lock all these monies in the bank and somebody else is dying? So when we mobilize Nigerians, we have enough resources within this country to solve a lot of the problems within this country. So that's the model that I'm trying to use.
All right, thank you, sir. This is for Honorable Osahon. I graduated since 7 years now. Well, you can guess the story. What is your plan for the unemployed graduates?
It's sad. Hello? It is sad. I'm feeling for you. But even by the time I came back from the UK, it took me how many months before I even got a job here? I was not even appreciated. I was going to be paid 50,000 for a start. Then how much more you? 7 years. It's sad. It's sad. Now, for you, this youth bill, youth entrepreneurship, economic impact bill is going to pay off for you. That is why we need to work together to commercialize Abuja. It's going to take a lot from you. Right now you are saying you are unemployed. Please, it's going to take at least 3 months from you. 4 months from you. I'm not lying to you. This was going to take from you 3 or 4 months sacrifice from you. Now, for our education sector, because of we have to tackle this from the root. Mummies, we have work to do. You are headmistresses. It is a responsibility. We have work to do. Okay.
We are retired as school principals.
Okay. Now you are proprietors, owners. So you all are stakeholders in education sector in Abuja. That I believe. And now, the first few days in office, we are going to have a stakeholder meeting. I don't know if you've had a stakeholder meeting with any of these education gurus on their bills. Have you ever called for a stakeholder meeting?
Not yet.
Okay, and I trust I will call you for that. Now we're going to do that. We're going to call all the heads, all the proprietors, all the whole owners. We're going to call all of you for the FCT because it's no longer Amak Buhari again. We're going to call all of you. Have a stakeholder meeting. We're going to call Abuja Commerce and the commerce industry in Abuja, Abusima, commerce, yes, commerce. We're going to call them. We're going to call professionals together and ask them, what can we do with the curriculum? Is the curriculum strategically manicured to produce entrepreneurs from the primary school? I will give you something. I was watching Channels TV the other day and I was moved to tears. Her name is Fadila Usman. Fadila Usman. She wrote a book, Why Parrots Repeat Sounds. Please, do you know how old she is? Who can guess? No? 13. So why the parrots repeat sounds? She wrote that book, and she's from Zamani College. Now, this is an author. That's it. And this is somebody that needs to be encouraged. How do we go about it? Improving our curriculum. Our children forget it is no more engineer, it's no more architect, it's no more newscaster. They have something inbuilt that transcends all known professions. We need to sit together, tackle that curriculum. Let them get their hands dirty. After they study and all the science and everything, what other additional courses do we need to put in there? Make them practical. So that by primary school, they're already authors, they're already sports. They're already sports, famous sports athletes. They're already changing their economy at the age of 9, 13, 14, before they become 18. By 13, they're already looking for managers. People to run their businesses for them. That's what is happening, and that's what we need to do in our future. That is serious. We need to change it right from the grassroots, and that is the primary school. Then we move to the secondary, the tertiary institutions, which is the bedrock. Because primary school, we can lose some of our primary school students because they want to make their money, they want to be tennis players by then. So the tertiary now, which is the SSC, GSC, how do we tackle that? A lot of schools that are saying that they started courses like entrepreneurial development, or how entrepreneurial are they? I finished studying all of that. I learned how to make a basket. Where's the empowerment after that? I learned how, while I was in school, I studied home economics. I was taught how to be neat. But there was the money to go on under the education. I was taught agric science. We were taught to grow farms. But where was empowerment after that? So we need to do all of that. We need to checkmate it at that stage. If we need to call, because do you know that we have a lot of corporate organizations here? They perform corporate social responsibilities. Please, we don't need any of the corporate social responsibilities that we cannot see again. Convert it to the education sector. Change it. At least sponsor 14 children. Your tax returns or your return of return on tax is about how much? Close to 250 million. And you are doing what corporate social responsibility say you are going to do it in Orozo. Are we seeing Orozo? Please, we are seeing the children. Change the children's life. Let us see it. From there, we move to university. Right from 100 level. If your mind is not yet prepared from secondary school, please, no need to enter 100 level. Go and look for a job, or go and start a trade, and we will empower you. That's why that youth bill is coming out. Like I said, please, whoever it is, just be patient. Just be patient. It looks too good to be true, but it is workable.
But that brings me to the next question. Okay? We have heard all you said. Can you take an oath facing the sun, barefooted, that you will not fail on your promises as JMPP candidates do?
First of all, I'm a Christian, and during my campaigns, I've exposed so many things. So many individuals in sheep clothing. So if I take this oath for you, am I any different from them? I have an oath in that constitution, which I hope to abide by. I have a platform from which I'm coming. ANA, Alliance for New Nigeria. We have 3 principles: transparency, integrity, accountability. If those 2 are not sufficient for you, then please, I will guide you in recalling me. I will guide you in recalling me. And I will tell you wholeheartedly, if I do not, within the first 2 years, I will resign. If you cannot recall me, because we're not going to have a We're not going to have that. I have that dream. If that dream cannot be actualized from me, it can be actualized from the senator, it can be actualized from another house of representatives.
Let's put our hands together for... I believe we all have a swell time. Please, let's celebrate our candidates. Okay, please let's put our hands together for them. Okay.
I just want to say something.
All right. So you all will give a final word.
Hello, my people. I just want you to know something, that this time in Nigeria, we need to do things differently. I'll give you an example that you know. You know our national stadium in Abuja?
Yes.
Okay. That stadium in Abuja is a colossal waste. And then a lot of money is now budgeted annually to service that stadium. But do you know what they do abroad? Abroad, they will just advertise that this stadium is looking for a new name. Do you want the stadium to wear your name? So corporate organization will bid to have that stadium name after them for a period of time. Let's say, for example, 3 years. So, for example, MTN may come and say, I want this national stadium Abuja to be MTN stadium for 3 years. I will give you 5 billion naira to make that happen. Another company may come, for example, Glo, may say, I want this stadium to wear my name for 3 years, I'll give you 7 billion. No, so they will give it to the highest bidder, and they collect like 10 billion naira going back to government covers. And this highest bidder is the one that will maintain the stadium, putting his name on it, and then publicizing the product. The money that is free, money can go to education, can go to build road, can go to God. Or you know, they budget millions every year, claiming that servicing that stadium is not used for anything. No football matches are taking place there. That is so we need out of the box thinking now to solve the problem in Nigeria. So as you go to vote, please, for House of Rep, for Senate, for local government chairmen, for councillors, for even for presidency, both men and women with out of the box ideas. We are so backward as a nation. It is time to move forward. And I'm so lucky. I'm better than my brother, and I'm better than my brother. Pius. They are running against each other. I'm the only senator here. Abi? So that gives me a head. So see, my party is the computer party. So on February 16, vote computer party. See, this meeting now is transmitted live all over the world because of computer. It is time to bring technology to solve the problem of Nigeria. That's what ANRP represents. God bless you as you vote for me. Vote for my president. We are ready to serve Nigeria.
All right. My last word to the electorate of Amakwari for the consensus is that you have the power to change your fate, and your power is in using your voters card to go out and vote on February 16, 2019. Please, if you want change for the future of your children, you must do things differently. Offer a vision that can, change our communities to a better and working community. Vote for me, vote for YPP, which is the logo of Nigerian map with an open door in 3 colors, red, yellow, and green. That's the party that you should be voting for on February 16, 2019. Thank you.
We wish you success in your aspiration. Thank you, sir.
Good evening once again. My name is Architect Pius Osanwa again. Now, we've come a long way, 12 years at most, and where we are now, is it better than where we were? Are we happy? Are we saved for another generation? Because a wise man once said that a good father leaves an inheritance for his children. So have we left inheritances for our children? A goodly inheritance. Excuse me, please, one house. Please, one house. Hello, excuse me, one house. I'm a lion. I belong to the Lion's Party. That's the emblem of my party, the lion. So that's why I'm speaking the way I am speaking. Right now, we are no longer sheep. The society has treated us badly. The government has disrespected us. They've taken us as fools. They've taken us as that. They've taken our monies and done nothing for us. They give us stipends and say it's the future. But they have bought our future from us. February 2019, 16th exactly, specifically, we have our PVCs. If you've not gotten it, get it. You have the power to vote your candidate. PVC. Power to vote your candidate. Vote your candidate. Vote a choice that you know that in the next 4 years, you will be happy to tell your children, I voted for him. I will say, vote for Alliance for New Nigeria, vote AM, vote for all sincerity, vote the right decision. It can be him, it can be anyone, but please vote rightly.
All right, please let's put our hands together for our amiable contestants. We are so proud of you. Thank you for the innovation you brought to bear. You really proved that this is not a dream of the night. You really thought this is a well thought of decision. And we pray that God will bless your aspiration. Thank you so much. All right, we have a good message coming from proprietors, model school. Please put your hands together as you come forward. Please keep clapping till she comes forward.
The aspirants and all the participants, good afternoon once again. We are happy to be here. I mean, educationists. We are looking forward to aspirants or eventually winners who will think outside the box for what is actually going on in the education system in Nigeria right now. So we want to see people who will come and will conduct public school classroom. A situation where we have 120 children, 100 in a class is quite unacceptable to us. A situation where we have serious decay in all the infrastructure in the school, mostly public schools, is quite what we cannot continue to carry on with. A situation whereby even the youth who are shouting that they are not, they couldn't get employment, what can they do? What can many of them do when you cannot give what you don't have? Many of them just go through the school, primary, secondary school, and they come out, you won't believe it, through what we call miracle schools. They don't even read because they know at the end of the day, they will make the result needed to take them to the university, and these are the ones who become court members in this university. They will be there for 5, 6, 10 years. They become landlords and landladies, and they become the leaders of the court members we have in this system. The rest are asked to go to maybe teachers, education colleges. I don't want to be very precise, so that we don't stigmatize the soft schools. But this is what is happening. These are ones who we know how they got their WAEC exam. They can't even speak English, they can't write it. Then they are now coming out to be teachers. So what do you expect them to teach? Which English will they speak that is acceptable to society? These are the things that I want our aspirants who we pray that some of you will become winners. These are the things we will just have to put up and correct. And most of our rich men or whoever politicians, their children are not in this system. They are UK, America, whatever, Malaysia, Turkey, all over the world. So how will they improve what is on the ground? If you can assure us that there will be a system whereby every child will be made to go to public school and they will be comfortable in such schools, then by God they will be ready to vote for you. Thank you very much.
Wow, thank you so very much, Ma. And also for our candidates, please do drop your addresses. We want to issue you a certificate. I think this is coming from the President. there's a certificate to be issued to you. So please ensure your addresses are properly documented so that we have it across. We also bring greetings from some of our sponsors: ASO Radio FM, Jordan FM, Laxin Global Services, Alabaster, I thought you were clapping, Alabaster Natural Resources, Yali CSO, and London Photography. Sorry, and MC Johnson Solutions. Thank you so much. All right, we want to bring up Respect God. We want to give us a comic relief. For the next 2 minutes, you have the stage. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, I maybe respect God. To don't tell where they have this man. Maybe give me some more chance. So I thought they said the man don't go give me chance. But finally, God do it, may give me the chance. So make una know best. I sure say this thing where they tell us no be political higi haga. Political crinkum crankum. Make me say that true that they tell us so. Because now waiting make me say today I must talk. Even though if I talk finish, they arrest me, no wahala. Even my father go dey proud. My son was arrested by the president. I never read this paper before, but I sure say if Buhari arrest me today, the next newspaper wey you go see na me. Only me go post like this. My father go say yes, that is my son. A friend go ask am, who? He say na my son. Wetin your son do? Go say my son was arrested by the president. So na wetin I dey talk. I no go take too much time. I go comot. I go like I see people make na oga before you comot snap me with this man. If they ask me wetin I wan take this picture do, I wan take this picture viral and credit. When they ask me, I go say, oh, this man, you can go now. Before you go, I go give you one cassette. Make you remember me when they put you. I go collect another one, or I go give senator. You know, say I'm the only senator here. Well, too much, but na only one senator. Snap me with senator. Who dey snap? I wan take this land. Na land I go dey buy. You don't see where they buy land credit. If they ask you, they go and say, oh, this man. But wetin I wan tell una be say, if this promise na political grammar. Okay, we no get power, but God na him be our power. Because we don take wey we dey try to make this time. You don't see say INEC people dey say they go bring people, make dem come. Wetin happen? At the end they say meeting. They no know say meeting dey wey we tell them. Why they no tell us say they no go come? But God dey watch all of us o. So Oga Senator, as you do, make God help you. Make you do as you talk. I no go waste time make I comot. I wan say make God bless everybody wey come here. Amen. You know say people wey I like for this life well well na politician. I like politician and I like Nigerian police. I see one policeman here make dem no come arrest me o. I dey my own. I no go talk again. Make una no vex o. No be Nigerian police I dey talk. Na American police I wan talk. So I go know say na when I enter America before they go arrest me. Wetin happen one day wey I dey come back from show. Na for America I happen, no be for Nigeria. So as I dey come back with one of my friends, we know say they don come late. And those police dey go ask us question. As we reach one junction, I no go call the name of junction because I don forget. He don tell me where I come back from America. So as we reach, my friend say, how are we going to pass this police? I say, I don't know. My friend come dey fear. I come remember, I say, You know, say if I run past now, say all those police they go follow me. My friend now Femi say a lie. I said Femi say a lie. Before Femi say a lie, now I take off. You know these 2 minutes I see tail of this police, American police, European Nigeria police. Then they follow me for back. As I run like 2 hours, now I stop. 2 of them come my front the beat. The first one they beat. Young man, why are you running? I say I don't feel like to run. He say you don't feel like to run? I say yes, I feel like to run. He say you are under arrest. I say for what? He say for illegal running. Thank you, my name is Respect God. God bless
you. When he said, he hope you will not be arrested. I say no talk wetin go make them arrest you. All right, thank you for that joke, lovely one. Thank you so much. All right, we also have permission to bring up Ms. Sibel Onoja to be performing a function for CCI. Please put your hands together for her.
CCI,
People's Affairs.
CCI,
People's Affairs.
God bless you. As you all know, we are called CCI. We operate in 3 major areas: economical, social, political. We source for problems and try to provide solutions to them. We want to change Nigeria to a better Nigeria. So, please, join us and make this happen. Just collect a form. The form is available. Register and join this wonderful civil society. CCI.
People's Affairs.
Also, we are pleading to everyone here for a support. We need your support in all round. Financially, we need your support. So I plead with you on behalf of the organization. In any how you can support us, please do. Remain blessed. CCI.
People's Affairs.
Wow, amazing. Please let's put our hands together for synchronized Mabel. Thank you so much. So CCI is a movement. Please, any way you can associate with us, any way you can be of help to make this dream more realizable. We hope to create a Nigeria of our dream, and we want us to be a part of the process. You know, it's very easy to complain about what is wrong, but the issue is how many of us are really taking positive and deliberate steps to be a part of the solution. Okay, that's the brainchild behind CCI. You can join us by membership, you can join us by partnership, whatever form. So we are open to any form of partnership and support from you. Thank you so much. So by the authority I have from the president, we be bringing,
come and be a participant, in this occasion that is well thought of. Thank you very much, and we also intend to ask questions. I have so many questions that I want to ask. I don't know if they will be able to answer all my questions today, but I just pray to God that they do, and then I'll be very happy for it. Thank you very much.
all right. Mommy says she has a whole lot of questions. All right. Be that as it may, I will want to introduce our panelists for this debate. Please, if you hear your name, please make your way forward. Okay? We are going to the heart of the program already. Okay, we have joining us from Yali, we have Ovo Atarigo. Please, let's put our hands together for Ovo. All right. Thank you, Ovo. Thank you. All right, we also have from Yali Steel, Kelechi Erondu. Oh, wow, she's seated already. Thank you, Kelechi. We have from CCI, Godson Chineye. Please let's put our hands together for her. And from CCI Steel, we have Tunde Johnson. Let's put our hands together for him. All right. All right, so this would be our panelists. They're going to be popping up the question for the sake of order, okay? So to get us started, we're going to be bringing forward our senatorial candidate, Olanrewaju Lawrence Osho of the ANRP. Sir, you're going to be telling us what your programs are. You're going to hit the nail on the head, sir, in 5 minutes. So please, let's put our hands together for the Senator ANRP as they come and get the debate started. Please, let's keep clapping our hands till they come forward.
Good afternoon, everyone. All protocols duly observed. In 1976, General Murtala Mohammed saw that Lagos, as the capital of Nigeria, was failing purpose. So he decided that we should have a new capital. And he set up a group headed by Justice Akinola Aguda. And the group went to work and found that FCT is the best place to be our new capital because it is the center of Nigeria. Once all the I's were dotted and T's were crossed, an American consultant called IPA was hired by General Murtala Mohammed's government to design Abuja for us. Abuja was designed based on 7 principles of development. 1, equal access. 2, equal citizenship. 3, environmental conservation. 4, guardian city. 5, functional city. 6, rapid, regional diffusement, from the center to all the 6 local governments, to all the other 5 local governments. And then 7, a rapid economic hub for the peoples. As you look at it today, probably you are hearing these 7 principles for the first time. Because when some of us said we are contesting, people ask us, are you baggy? Because most of us are ignorant that Abuja's 2nd principle is equal citizenship. Now, if you look at these 7 principles, you see that none is achieved. Abuja has no economy, for example. And that's the 7th principle. So a lot of people are broke. Abuja is not a functional city because 42 years down the line, you can't even travel from Federal Secretariat to Kwali in 30 minutes. As of today, you should be able to travel from Federal Secretariat to Kwali or to Okuji in 10 minutes. Fast-moving train. And come and look at it. Dubai development started just about 22 years ago. And they have gone ahead and built super cities, beginning from Dubai to Abu Dhabi, to Ajman, to Sharjah. They are going to the 7th one. And in 20 years of democracy, we have messed up Abuja. It's getting dirtier, uglier on a daily basis. Why? Because Abuja has no governor. Abuja has no mayor. And the senator, who is the only one elected by all the 6 local governments, does not understand that he should be wearing the cap of a governor. So what do? They just go to National Assembly and sit down and sleep and collect money and share. So this city is badly in need of a savior, of a restorer, of an innovative leader who understands the purpose of the creation of Abuja and needs to bring it back to what it's supposed to be. So when Murtala, set up this group, he asked them a question. Is there any city that has done what we have done before? Any country that has done what we have done before? Yes, USA had its capital as New York and now moved to Washington DC. And he hired American consultant to design Abuja to be exactly like Washington DC. But today is a messed up city. So I'm running for Senate in Abuja, you know, simply to restore the purpose of Federal Capital Territory and make it a city that will be the pride of every one of us. Can a senator do this? Yes. The work of an honorable or a senator is only three. You know, legislation, representation, and oversight. And in ANRP, we added one more, you know, assignment, which is engagement. Even a senator that is what is onion with legislation, you can make laws that will transform your community. For example, do you know, in the US, there's a law that makes sure that your lawn, your grasses around your house are well cut all the time. And every month if they come around and they see it's bushy, you pay $40. So because of laws, developed cities became developed. And then oversight. You ask someone to build a school, it must have POP ceiling, it must have, you know, a marble floor or tile floor. And you got there, you saw asbestos as oversight agent. And you got there and you saw ordinary cement. And you have money in your pocket. You have destroyed the vision. So through oversight, a senator can do a lot. And representation. If you represent the people very well, they have no water, then you can be able to take their case to their public quarters, engage on their behalf, and make sure things are working well. I cannot share my dream for Abuja in 5 minutes. I was not told that I'm a editor. I was told that I will give keynote address. Yes. But you can see because I'm prepared, nothing takes me by surprise. I will be the best senator this city ever appointed by the grace of God. Thank you for listening.
Wow, I thought we were still clapping. All right, that's Dr. Olanrewaju Osho Lawrence. Thank you, sir, for that. May God bless your aspiration. All right, to also take us further, please let's put our hands together as I bring up Prince David Adetunji Adeyeye of the House of Representatives Amak Ambwari. Thank you, sir. You have 3 minutes.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. And that's why it's always good to have. All right. Okay. But nonetheless, that's why it's always good to have a very eloquent, competent senator. He has done most of my work for me. Quickly, I would like to introduce myself to people beyond this room. My name is Prince David Adetunji Adeyeye. I'm a lawyer. I work in the power sector. Decided to take this bold step to become the representative for the people of Amak and Ambwari, for simply a lot of the reasons that the senator has mentioned. But let me tell you essentially what motivated me. Since I came here in the year 2000 to serve as a youth corps in National Assembly, I've not been represented, I've been overtaxed, I've not had any form of governance as things that concern me. And indeed, within the community that I live, I started my life right in Durmi. My house was demolished right over my head without any recourse to engagement or accommodation from the government. So I haven't seen how FCT Abuja had become over the years. I decided to join in the group of people that will take action. And my agenda for FCT as of Rep for Amak and Ambwari Federal Constituency is principled on one single term that I call legislative agenda for community development. The senator says Abuja does not have a governor, and it's very fundamental. Because Abuja doesn't have a mayor or a governor, Abuja doesn't function. Because the minister who oversees Abuja serves at the pleasure and discretion of Mr. President. So if it doesn't do well, it doesn't matter what the citizens feel. So I want to push a legislative agenda that will run on 2 key legs. One, developing local economies, and also education. In developing local economies, there are a couple of agendas we want to achieve there. We want to make sure that our interland, the communities, can have community bank that would lend at no zero interest rate to people. Instead of the vice president going to share money in market, we would have policy or laws or framework that you can actually live in your community and have money to do your business. How would it work? The same way your cooperatives work in your association. I belong to one cooperative, PAPI. You don't need a huge infrastructure, you don't need huge money. If you run in competition way, so you have a Guarimpa Community Bank, you have Papi Community Bank, you capitalize them every 6 months. If they're performing, if they're borrowing money to people that live with them that is referral based, it will perform and people will return. So that our women and youth can have money to even take their life to the next level. There are a lot of talent in Nigeria, but they don't have resources and capital. The other way, the other one on developing local economy is through agricultural. I've traveled to the hinterlands, you know, the villages, places like Leka, Kuchekwe, Gomada, you know, Igu, Sherekau, very fertile land, but people are not doing the big time farming that they are supposed to do because they can't see the potential. They can't see that if there is an industrial zone that will demand maize for, say, flour mill around them, they will encourage them to farm. So we want to create organized community to agricultural cooperatives. So we do co-ops for them, put machine and tools, we organize them there so that they can begin to have access to this thing that they don't need to pay money for. On that, also developing local economies would introduce education in our local school, in our local communities. If you go to most of the places, the schools are in a very shameful condition. I took a picture of one place in Leka that are people who are studying in a broken schools, the picture of Nigeria. What do we want to do? I know I'm not running for an executive position, but like the senator said, that position gives you so much leverage to tap into resources of the state and airpass to begin to organize support in terms of education, apart from what is budgeted for. Our budget for education is too low, very disappointing, very minimal. One of the things I will do in National Assembly is to be a large boss that raise that from the very disgracing 5% that it is to 15%, at least, sensibly. That's what nation who wants to develop to, so that if we can catch them young, we can have communities that have libraries and e-center. Then you can begin to develop their competency. Somebody said, oh, a village that there is no light, there is no water, what do you need a library for? And I share this example because it's really demonstrates that dream that I have. The girls that went from Anambra that won the Silicon Valley for designing a house has never seen computer in their life. They have never been taught programming because somebody brought it to their community. Those geniuses emerged out of those kids, and they went out of the shores of Nigeria to win Silicon Valley Prize for designing a house. So there are a lot of kids that are talented in our communities. What they lack, why they are not as smart as the kids in London, Paris, or anywhere, is because there's no that infrastructure around them. So as a House of Rep member, I'm going to be keen to make sure that whatever is budgeted for in education, attract the implementation of those budgets and make sure that it's rightly implemented on the ground, and also reach out to developed countries who want to help. There are communities who want to help, and I've done that on my own little way. Then a part of that is also to create what I call youth centers and leisure centers within communities, so that our kids go around and I see people playing football in a very disgracing places. Not only football, there are so many talents and sports that can come out from the grassroots if they have the infrastructure. I've seen kids that just exposing them to it, they become stars. So we want to make sure that these infrastructures are there in the community, that it's working, and you don't need heaven and earth to do it. You don't need so much money to do it. You can do a floodlit, sport creation center that people can access in communities within less than 2 million. If you can think about it, if you can design how it works. So these are the things that I want to push for. Quickly, my major role as a House of Rep member is to sponsor bills. There are certain bills that I think is fundamental. I wanted to sponsor FCT rented accommodation bill. Landlords just do whatever they want in this city. They rip all of us out. That's going to change. I want to do straight trading bill. I want to sponsor straight trading bill. I used to have a guy that washes my car. He did his well, he did everything, and one day it wasn't there. So I called him. What happened? He said the environmental chased him. When they've not produced services, why do you have to chase people that are creating jobs for themselves? Well, there's no other alternative. What I think they should have done is to control the trading, that it doesn't affect public safety and other things. So essentially, I have about 10 bills probably when people ask questions that I'm going to expose, I'll probably talk about, and to show that National Assembly, if I'm there, would have a voice that will make laws that impact really on communities and look at this, people in the destiny. I hope my time is on.
Wow, are we still clapping for him? Thank you, Prince David Adetunji Adeyeye. We are going to be engaging our senator before we come to Prince. We're going to be engaging them in questions, okay? Of course, we have very trained panelists already on set. So for the next 25 minutes, we're going to be on Senator Senator Larewaju Osho. We're going to be engaging him. Question. Okay? So, thank you.
Okay. So I'm here. I can't sit to talk to you. I need to stand to talk to you.
Probably will sit down to ask you a question.
That's okay.
So you know, this past years, politicians have been promising us 7 years. You know that. What you told us this day is really promising. First of all, I want to ask you what motivated your political ambition. Is it to go and follow them and put money the way they are packing, or you want to make life better? Secondly, how do we hold you responsible if you tell us tomorrow? Because politicians actually are making us bad. We don't really know who to trust anymore.
Okay, that's very beautiful. I guess the answer, you already found the answer in my little speech. You'll be shocked that even the current senator representing us does not even know these things that I just told you. They don't know. I came into politics just 4 months ago. I've been a pastor for 32 years. I've been a development sector operator for 22 years. This is my 22nd year in Abuja. I see Abuja going back every year. I don't know whether that's what you saw. Okay, so based on what I've seen, and I'm glad that Yali is here, I'm the president of United States International Visitor Leadership Program alumni, which Yali is our junior brother. And for 21 years, we have done so much development work in Abuja. I just use all my salary to develop Abuja, including renovating Kuje, Government Girls Science Secondary School, Kuje Auditorium. We were the one, it was IBFP that renovated it, and when I saw it was a state of shame. You know, and I said, look, this has to be done. You know, we have taken volunteering and leadership to about 15 schools in Abuja. We have trained 40,000 secondary students on volunteering and leadership, because that is a missing link in our curriculum. We don't teach leadership, we don't teach volunteering. And that's why you see somebody gets there as a leader, all he's interested in is making money, because he has never learned to serve the community. You are serving the community, and I've served this community for 22 years. So my interest is not in packing money. My interest is in solving all the problems that are there. You know, all the money that I needed, God has provided for me already, by the grace of God. I'm not a poor person, so I'm coming to serve my community. How do you know that I will not abandon you? Maybe my team will be able to share my flyer here. It's called a covenant to serve. You know, when you see a politician say he's making a covenant with people, I am the only one who is a senator who did not provide a flyer. So, you know, most senators, when they have campaign, they provide just 5 flyer, 1 page. Mine is 4 pages. I wrote down everything that I'm going to do. And you can put it in your room, and 4 years down the line, let's check. You will see that you check everything that I've decided. Let me also let you know this. A senator typically does not have a manifesto. But because I know that I'm running like a governor of Abuja, I have a manifesto called Aspire Plus. A, Agric Revolution. S, Safety and Security. P, promoting opportunities for the youth and women. Which opportunity is locked up in this country just for children of the wealthy. Even in scholarship. It's only privileged like Yali, people like Yali, privileged people like Yali and us that know that almost every embassy has scholarship for Nigerians. But they are locked up. So we are coming to unlock the space and promote opportunities for our children, whether they are poor, wherever they come from. Innovative solution to the problem of Abuja. This city does not have a single tourist center. 42 years down the line, is it not a shame? Katampe Hill, where Aso Radio is established now, is the epicenter of Nigeria, the perfect center of Nigeria. Any country that have leaders that are sane, that are thinking, that perfect center of Nigeria will be a tourist center that the whole world comes to see. These are the powers that are pushing me. I am hungry to transform this community. We are much better than this. We need to rejig Abuja master plan to fast track development. And E is the passion of our mommy who spoke earlier, education and environment. Walk from area 1 under the bridge to area 10 post office. Your nose will be choking with wee-wee all over the street. our city of Abuja has no toilet. You know, everywhere, people poo everywhere. Any small bush, you see people doing poo. If we solve the problem of environment in FCT, do you know that we spent almost 900 million naira on 3 sicknesses in FCT? What are the sicknesses? Environmental related sicknesses. 1, typhoid. 2, cholera. 3, malaria. Take care of the environment and you will see that we save this 900 million to do those great things that my brother spoke about earlier. And then education. Education and education. We will not stop doing this thing by the grace of God. So I'm not coming to steal your money. I'm coming to solve problems. And you know what? You can see passion in me. I have passion, I have drive, I have ideas. 23 years ago, Americans saw in me what I did not see in myself. A great leader. And they sent me to US with American taxpayers' money, you know, to meet with Bill Clinton while he was president of America. And to take a photograph with Colin Powell. And to do so many other, you know, training of leadership. But for 22 years, I didn't have opportunity to show it. It's money bags that are controlling our politics. It's time for the right people to step out and transform FCT. And I know you all will vote for me no matter what party you belong to. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. I have 2 questions for you.
Yes, ma'am.
The first one is, our major undoing in politics recently has been the Godfather factor.
Yes.
So I'd like for you to tell us, because it's also important for us to know, if you're elected into office, is there someone you'll be loyal to, someone who will influence your decisions? Because that's one of the major issues we're having. Not that we don't have competent people in office, but we've had people over time who get into office and because of the Godfather syndrome, they lose track and their loyalty is no longer to the nation, it's to these people. So yes, who are we looking out for? Do you have a godfather? Is there something we should be questioning now? Then the second question, sir, is you've clearly stated your intentions and where you want to take the FCT to. My question now is, how would you implement this? How would you drive this? You know, going from what your promises are to actually implementing of
in Kuje local government. For you to make a call in Kebi Mangrove, you have to come down to Kuje on 700 naira bike, 700 naira, no transport. You take a bike, 700 naira to make a call. In FCT, 42 years down the line. And then you take a bike of 700 naira back to make a call. From 1,500 naira to make a call. They don't have road. They don't have road. It took us 2 hours to get to Kebi Mangrove, which is just a distance of 15 minutes from Kuje, because of poor leadership. No, so when there's no network, how do you even make sure that you introduce ICT to develop education in that area? As a senator, and we engage, we have 4, you know, Etisalat, Glo, Etisalat now, 9 Mobile, Glo, MTN. We engage them and tell them, see, this is business, even if it's not for business opportunity, it's community social responsibility. That your mass should be in that place to solve this simple problem for the people and unlock this community, this environment. And then the FCD themselves. The budget of Abuja this year is 290 billion. Last year, 270 billion. Last year budget for Abuja is 220 billion. You hear all these billions and you don't know where it's going to. Do you know why? Because the senator of Abuja does not understand how to wield power. So as the senator of FCT, any of these guys that becomes an honorable, I will bring them together with me. We are going to form Abuja Representatives Forum. And if you have 72 people, how do you get there? 62 councillors, 6 local government chairmen, 2 honorables, and then 1 senator. 72 of us become a pressure group on the minister. We will start development from the poorest of the poor part of Abuja, and then we'll bring it back to the center. You understand me now? And then on the issue of oversight, even in Akko Estate here, a school was built, a boarding school, junior secondary school, bodies were approved and built on paper, but nothing was there on ground. It was when Buhari came that they now, because of his body language, people quickly rush and build that school. If you get there today, my brother, it's like a place where they are rearing sheep, but it was built as school and it's accepted. Under my watch as the senator of FCT, I will bring oversight to the people. Are you listening to me? We are going to form, you know, we have this a city of big people, DGs, ministers, senators, retired priests. So we will form a forum of indigenous citizen oversight initiative. Citizens Oversight Initiative. They are going to work with me as NGO to go to places where contracts have been awarded, and by the grace of God, I will do a website every year to print contracts that have been awarded for FCT and allow people opportunity to have access to them and monitor them for us. And we'll generate the energy of the media and that of the people to give whoever will not allow this work to be done a real lot of help so that development can happen.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. We are grateful. God bless your aspiration. All right, we'll be taking on the House of Rep member, Prince David, for the next 25 minutes. And panelists, you also have the right to interject. If you want more clarification on a particular point, the candidate is making, you can interject. So for the next 25 minutes, and also for the rest of us in the House, if there's any question that is pressing on your heart, since we can only reach the actors through our panelists, please send it in a sheet of paper and pass it to any of the four seated. Okay? Thank you for that. Okay, sir. So, Prince.
Just a preamble. Please, permission to sit down. I usually like standing when I'm talking as well, but not to draw it, but I had an accident yesterday, so I'm still suffering from a lot of pain. I have to take painkillers. Thank you. So I will sit down and then I will take your questions. I'm ready.
Are you ready for me?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So, I listened to your conversation and I just want to throw this question to you. How do you intend to use legislation to improve education, health, and economic development in the FCT?
All right. Thank you. Our education and the standard in FCT particularly, and of course in Nigeria, is so abysmally, poor. Not because we don't have the right people to drive sound quality education, but also because we don't have the right legislation to guide the kind of result that we want to have. So, early childhood is the primary bedrock of the kind of education system we want to have in the nation. If you look around, there is not even enough or even functioning early school, let alone of early education, early childhood education. So I want to sponsor a bill on education that will earmark a certain percentage of internally generated revenues from FCT. So I give an example. Keke Napep, there are 10,000 of them in Abuja. They pay 100 naira a day to operate. They pay 25,000 naira a month. 10,000 of them, these are facts, these are statistics because we don't check statistics in Nigeria. When you go and multiply what they give to AMAC, it's 250 million. Now, 250 million monthly, just from Keke Napep. I'm not talking of Okada, I'm not talking of tenement, all sort of locally internally generated revenue. I'm not talking of further allocation to Abuja, I'm talking of internally generated funds. So I would sponsor a bill that would say 1% of that money, of all internally generated revenue, should be devoted to early childhood education providers to encourage the right set of people to come in to create a basis for people who may not have enough resources to study. But because it's key, it's fundamental, we must have it in any community. Then part of that also, of that legislation that taxes the part of the revenues also goes to our LEA, so that we are not only waiting for a budget alone. If our minister was really working and bothered, he has the power to do it. But because we don't have a mayor, like he said, we can use the level of legislation to drive this in.
So what happens if that bill fails?
Okay, good. Thank you. Now, my brother Senator Toby said something that is going to create a pressure group of political leaders or actors that are elected. The same thing I was going to tie into. You see, our politicians don't work because we keep quiet. We don't do anything. And it brings me as a referee. Both of us must be criminally minded not to want to pay back. So when they know that your capital keeps increasing every 6 months because of the performance of it, it will work. So people already want a better life. Everybody wants higher standard of living. What they lack is a representative that will think out and make it happen, that will go extra miles to make this work. So everybody understands what it means to live, and they want to live, and they can see a good idea from a bad idea. So it's not about convincing, it's about will you actually get in to be able to do it? And like he said, we are not voting the right people, we are voting people that who thinks about politics only for 4 years. They don't think 20 years down the line. They don't think that, for instance, in Duse, all that traffic grid laws is costing money and it's costing that community loss of revenue. If they had just think about what is being done elsewhere and pay a little attention and analyze that data, things will be done differently. So I think people are convinced about some, because those are the people I talk to. And when I was sharing with somebody today that I don't know whether I'm making sense to people that live in the city because I cannot assess it. But in the people in the villages that I meet, the ordinary, I'm not talking about the chiefs, but the ordinary people, they understand some of these concepts and they're ready to have an opportunity to make it work.
You gave an illustration about a cooperative in Pape.
Yeah.
And they're able to do business, or they're effective because they have an element of trust. And that's on a small scale.
Yeah.
In my first question, I talked about processes. How would you, on a larger scale, drive a value-oriented process? Because from what you said now, there will be lots of bills that will be passed from your end. And we believe that when you are elected into office, these bills will pull through. And you also talked about accountability. So how would you drive a value-oriented system? Because I believe that's what the electorate wants to hear.
Okay, all right. I think first of all is recognizing, the problems and engaging the people who the problem affects, and let them see, the importance of keying in. So he talked about, having, I think he said politicians, 67 people, bringing everybody. I don't want to do the whole FCT value orientation change. I want in the local community. So bring the stakeholders together and say, look, for every, constituency fund that is given, constituency project fund that is given, and you don't ask your senator for it, this is the impact of your community. So for every contract that is given, if you say, oh, it's contracted, they've avoided it, you are not going to check, you are not thinking about even direct labor, you are not telling them, look, we have kids that can pack sand or gravel, you are not getting involved, this is the impact. So it's to actually start small, it's not to want to change the whole FCT as a goal, it will not. In fact, I will even be overwhelmed and probably worn out. But we'll start with the people themselves. When senators or House of Rep can go to committee and engage them and make them, I told people I'm going to be doing once in 2 months town hall meeting in the villages. If you sit with them at least once in every 2 months, 1 hour, to look at the issues, the ideas, the buying, you will see the solutions are right there in the community. What we don't have is people still not engaging. So it's not so much about the global thing, but the minute one. And that's where I'm going to start from. And also, don't forget I'm going to have a senator. So if I have a senator that is also complementing my effort, if is working, then that is even multiplied. So I think my focus is just small interland communities, small number of people, and we'll start from there on.
Let's put our hands together for Prince David Adeyeye. I hope the seat was not too hot, sir.
No, I wasn't going to go too bad.
It's okay. All right. More question is coming in for Senator. Yes, but we'll take them later. All right? Please, let's put our hands together as we receive the PPC candidate, Oba Boni,
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. It's a great honor to be here today. I'll just be very fast, and please be fast with your question when it answers. I want to apologize ahead of time that we'll be leaving very soon, but we'll try our best to do what we have to do. And the reason is that, like this community, we're also meeting with other community to discuss, and I'm going to explain that as we discuss. Why am I running for the Federal House of Representatives? I've been in Abuja for the last 23 years of my life. This is home to me. And I've also been involved in leadership for the last 12 years. Presently manage the leadership mentoring center known as the Black Initiative. And funny enough, I'm one of the pioneers of Yali Abuja. So I saw the coordinator was around today. And so we have been involved in leadership and business. I run a project called the Black Initiative, which is designed to empower emerging leaders and business people. But the issue is not talking about myself. It's why am I engaged in politics. I've been involved for the last 22 years in politics, that's the truth. Right from my school days, I was the deputy speaker of the student parliament. And I've been involved for the last 20 years. I believe that it is time for us to have credible, competent leadership in Abuja. We have complained, it's time to get involved. It's not the time to make noise, it's the time to truly bring your skills to bear. And I believe in talking about the 4C, which is credibility, competence, character, and courage to make the right decision. And the senator said a lot, and so also my brother. We have been discussing prior to this, lovely people, very intelligent individuals. But the truth is that Abuja deserves the best. I mean, for those of us that have had the privilege of traveling to others, capital of nations, you're going to realize that it's a shame. Sometimes when you're coming to Abuja, coming to Lagos or Abuja, you want to start crying. Because it's a shame what we see when we get into this nation. But I'll tell you is that the problem is because we have become a cake-sharing nation and not a cake-baking nation. People tend to blame just the leaders, but the truth is that we, the society, we all need a social reengineering. That's the truth. And so what some of us are doing is that we are taking the courage to step out, to do what other people like you are scared to do, because you are credible too, you are competent. But people will tell you, I don't have the resources to do politics in Nigeria, is that not? So I don't just want to make noise and tell you there are realities out there. It takes courage, because you're going to spend your money. You're going to spend the money meant for your own children, because you don't have godfathers. Everywhere you go, for those of us that are coming newly, I just want to be plain. I don't want to go into telling you this and telling you that. We get SMS, people asking us for 5,000, 10,000. And if you spend 5,000 to 1 million persons, you're going to spend how much? 5 billion. And so the cost of going into politics is very high. So it takes men of courage to do this. And that's the truth. And so we are not here to just tell you stories. Now, talking about Abuja and talking about governance, I understand that there are views. You need to understand the difference between the legislative arm and the executive arms. We're going to work, our main business is bills, is that not? Yeah. And ensuring that these bills are implemented. You don't judge the fish by its capacity to climb a tree. You're going to judge the fish by its capacity to swim. So the legislative arm is designed to ensure that bills are put in place, and we have bills like my fellow colleague said, we have bills that we're working on presently. My office, we have been working on the WISE initiative, which is workforce integration, workforce integrated social enterprise. And we build our campaign based on the 4S, which is social enterprise, social welfare, social justice, and social integration. It is because, like we all are aware of, social integration, the concept that we need to have a national identity and national value. We have serious problem in that area, especially now that we're talking about picking the most credible candidate to represent us. It is now people are going to talk about, is it a Muslim, is it from this place, is it from that place, because we don't have a national identity. So we are working on that, talking about the social integration, then we talk about the social welfare. We are putting policies together to make sure that Abuja benefits from that. And then the social justice, which most of us from Yali, we are more conversant, we talk about social justice a lot. Now we're going to talk about social justice, and then we'll talk about social enterprise. I am a social entrepreneur by study and by nature. And for the last 8 years, we have empowered more than 10,000 people in Abuja in different words. And I believe that you can use commercial vehicles to solve social problems. And so we're going to put bills in place, and we're going to look at existing bills and see how we can get it better, and to ensure that things get better. I wish I could say a lot, but like you know, I want to truly apologize. My mind is already in another community called a village. Some villagers are waiting to get to talk, to discuss, and that is what we are doing. Talking about politics, we need to carry the people along. So what we have been doing, we have been going from communities to communities, meeting with the local chiefs, the community leaders, the religious leaders, the youth leaders, and women leaders, and talk and ask them, what do you think is the need of the society, carrying out a need analysis. And the places we've been to, and initially the arguments were like, you are somebody different from us, but as soon as we finish, they begged us for another meeting. And that is where I'm like, the first time we went to the place I'm going on, they were a bit skeptical that you are not a Gbagi. But when we finished, the chief said, I don't want to listen to this alone. I want my community to come and listen to you. And he booked for 4 o'clock today and said, I'm bringing my community so that you share with them your vision, so that they will not think I'm taking money from you to support you. And so I think if we carry the people together, we'll be able to implement policies, and resources will come that will make this possible. So I'll stop here, and I just want to get, maybe when I get questions, I should be able to answer your questions.
Thank you so much. Oba said we need the social engineering. Don't be a part of the problem. Be a part of the solution. All right. So we'll be having questions. So our panelists. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you for your time. I'm particularly interested in your. Can you hear me? I'm particularly interested in your 3 A's: the social welfare, social justice, and social interaction. Or 4 A's, right? Correct. Now, housing is a major problem in FCT. How would you solve that?
Okay.
I walked into Gishiri community some time ago, some years ago, and what came to my mind was a book of Charles Dickens, Tales of Two Cities. Because Gishiri is like a slum, while Maitama is like a good city, comparing both of them. And that is an example of many other places within the FCT. How would they address the challenges there, the housing and other social needs of these people?
Okay, thank you. What we've started doing and what we intend to scale up as soon as we're elected by God's grace is to ensure inclusive representation. I'm sure my colleagues also have this experience that sometimes people don't even know they are suffering. They have become so used to it. So what we have started doing is getting people to know their right and understand that you need it, you deserve a better life. So we have been meeting with the various community leaders, because oftentimes what people do is that you just sit in your house and think this is the solution. So one will start by carrying the people along. And then we look at existing, there are rules already, there are existing bills. Sometimes the problem is not even the bills, it's the implementation. We don't have people that are willing to follow the process, because you talk about the structure, the system, and the strategies. Oftentimes, strategy is not our problem, but we don't have effective structures and systems to implement these strategies. So what we're trying to do, what we will do, and what we have started doing, is carrying the community leaders, the youth leaders, the community as a whole, talking about developmental communication, ensure that it is the totality of the aspiration of the people. And then we look at existing rules, because the existing rules, that's the truth, talking about housing, affordable housing. And there are monies that have been voted into this project. But the truth is that they are not implemented. They are not. And among the 4 C, we're talking about credibility, competence, and character. But the 4th is courage. You need a man of courage willing to make the tough decision. I think the House of Reps should be the chief law when we talk about the policy on and the blowing and the whistle blowing. The House of Reps of crime committed by the executive. But these days, they are partners in crime. There was a time I gave a lecture to the Ministry of Power, and I gave a lecture on procurement policy as the foundation for corruption. The corruption begins with the budgeting process, where business owners visit the House of Reps and say, okay, this is what you should budget. For instance, it's not in the last year. Okay, last year I was in the UK for some months, and in the UK, where I was actually staying there in Stratford, you had so many uprisings there, owned by the Arabs, but they don't stay there. It's not just a Nigeria problem. They come to the UK, they buy buildings and things like that. But something started happening at Stratford. They started making policies about those houses over time. And before you know it, some people started saying those houses. And that's what we're going to do in Abuja, especially those of you staying around Gorinfo and everything. You're going to see some people own hundreds of flats staying in Gorinfo. The best way, when we talk about money laundering, one of the best way people launder money is through properties. So we're going to look into that, and you're going to discover that the prices will drop when we start saying that who owns this building. If you don't show, if you don't do, so many things are going to take place. So we're going to deal with that.
You talked about, during the course of your conversation, you talked about social re-engineering.
Yeah.
Could you throw more light on how you drive social re-engineering and how it will affect or influence the processes, the structure, the strategy, and the system? Okay.
Social re-engineering is simply getting the people to awake to opportunities that is available. There are things we have been doing in the community, working with young people, teaching. We have a club we call the 30 Million Club. What is the 30 Million Club? These are groups of young people that can earn 30 million every month. And it's possible, and now we go to communities and these people look at us and say, okay, we don't need your 5,000, we want to earn 30 million every month. And what is 30 million every month? It's simply 1 million people giving you 30 naira per month. Is that not? And you have your 30 million. And so what we're doing is that we are opening the eyes of people, the opportunities that lies, like when you travel to Israel, the capital for startups in the world, you're going to realize that there are billionaires there, there are great startups from Europe and from Israel. But check the populations of the people staying there. It's because they are exposed, they understand the opportunities that are available. And that is what the capital city provides for everyone staying here. Use asking this question. There's so much opportunity in Abuja. Abuja is supposed to be the capital of the black race, the capital of Africa as a whole. But I'll tell you, travel to Kenya and you'll be shocked what you discover there. What is happening in Kenya at this point in time. You travel to some of these African countries, you're going to find what the youths are doing there. And not just the people that are educated, we have also met the villagers that we are beginning to speak to. We spoke to some chiefs recently that told us that they were not able to pay the school fees of their own children. Primary school in Abuja is basically 900 to pay for primary school, is that not? But there are people that their children are not in school because they can't afford 900. But within them, there are opportunity for them to earn far more, but their children are out of school. So there's a whole lot we are doing at this moment to ensure that there's an awakening and there's a mental shift in the way we approach issues.
My own question, sir.
Okay.
I've known you for some time now, and I know, I believe that you didn't just start running for the sake of running. I don't live in Busi, but I've gone to Busi. Some things I see around there for Amakambuari, I'm sure it's in that area. Amakambu, do say it's in Amakambuari jurisdiction. All right? There are things that I see there that I don't like. Number one, when you come to that Busi area, you see the place literally littered with deaths. As if it's not as if the people staying there are dirty. There's no probably government sector coming to pick up those debts. And what do you expect them to do? Some of them don't have money to pay for. These people that come to fight that. So probably they just keep them out there. There are some places that people bath and then you see water outside coming instead of entering the circle way. There are no bus stops in Dusi and the rest. How do you intend to change this thing? What are you going to do differently? Because governments have been entering, House of Rep members have been entering and there's no difference. How do you intend to change this suffering for these people? I'm not sure they are comfortable living like that. Number one. Number two, you're young. Our young people have been looking for not too young to run, isn't it? Now a young person is entering there. What would you do differently, sir? Because I want you to do something different.
It's okay. The first one is this. During my business school at Switzerland, my project was actually converting waste to wealth. And some years ago, Sweden actually were looking for waste to buy from other European countries. I think they bought waste worth $300 million. And the reason is that because we do not see this as opportunity. I developed a project and we're working at it presently. When I see waste and talking about recycling out, you're going to realize that one of the things we're trying to do under the workforce integrated social enterprise is part of what you just asked, where waste in this country will become a source of wealth. And there is that even in Lagos, we'll be looking, we're not contesting in Lagos, we're in FCT. You will no longer see any plastic waste in Abuja because policies are in place. It's part of what we're doing in one of my organizations. And we intend to enforce that once we get into power. Now, talking about the congestion in Abuja, the Dusi and everything, one of the things I look forward to this city is having a transport network put in place. Abuja, funny enough, is still the only major capital city without a perfect railway system. It's so funny, is that not? Like, you travel that, you don't even need to get a taxi from your house. And let's leave London. You go to some country, you're going to realize that. The system, transportation system is very effective. I am very interested in that. We're going to look at the existing policies that deals with that because I don't believe in always saying that you're going to put a policy in place. The problem with Nigeria is implementation. There are very good policies in Nigeria. We're going to dust some of these policies. Why, if there are limitations why these policies are not well implemented, we're going to see how we can amend these policies. But I'll tell you that God helping us, we're going to make it the pride of Africa. And within the first 2 years, we're going to ensure that it is properly carried out. Now, as a young person, I'm not so young, I'm 40. 40 is not young, 40 is not old. But the truth is that some of us graduated, we have got a lot of experience. Are you getting it? And some of us are not that young in this thing. Like I said, I've been involved in leadership for the last 23 years. So you see that while we might be young in age, our experience is far more compared to some people that are 60. They are just learning the process. And so we're not young in experience. We ensure that there's things we are bringing on board, and what we're bringing on board is I have to seek your permission to be. Like you guys are advising us to go and meet them in the community and discuss with them, is that not? So there are villagers, people waiting for us, and they are also very important. We gave them 4, we should not go late. And we've already missed 1, we should not miss the second. So I don't know.
Thank you so very much, sir.